Hey, my name is Jen, and today we're going to be flowing slowly with perfect alignment. So basically what that means is that we're going to be bringing most of our attention to exactly how we're holding our bodies and ensuring that we are basing every single shape and every single movement with a specific breath. So I'm going to walk you through everything as you go, and as long as you're ready, ensure that you maybe have a block just in case. And let's get started. So to begin, let's just drop into a quick meditation. So closing down the eyes, bringing some softness into the body, and ensuring that your breath is staying as natural as possible. So for the beginning of this practice, we're simply connecting to the natural breath. We're doing our best not to create any engagement with it, but instead just watching the inhale and the exhale float in and out of the body. Noticing that subtle rise of the belly and the chest as you breathe in. Noticing that feeling of surrender as you breathe out. And then use your connection to this natural breath to bring some softness into the physical body. Noticing if the core is quite tight, typically it is. So doing your best to relax the belly and just allow it to fall outwards. Ensuring that your jaw and your face feels completely relaxed. Your eyes and the space just behind the eyes is completely relaxed. Releasing any sort of residual tension that may have been built up throughout your day or night. And giving yourself full permission to just be here right now. And then begin to guide your hands into a prayer mudra in the center of your chest, with your thumbs gently touching the center of the chest. And connect to an intention that you may have for this practice. So this intention could be a feeling, or a word, or even some sort of image. Just notice what may come up for you. And once you have that intention, just hold it close to your heart. And repeat it as many times as you may need. Let's commence our practice with one full Om. So giving ourselves a cleansing breath to begin, so a full inhale. Exhale at the mouth, sigh it out. Again, full inhale to Om. Allowing that natural breath to flow in and out of the body again. But this time bringing a little bit more engagement into the breath. Feeling expansion as you inhale. Feeling release as you exhale. And then just drop your chin down towards your chest, giving thanks for the practice that we're about to commence together. And as you feel ready, blink open the eyes, allow the light to drop into your awareness, drop your hands into your lap, palms facing the sky. Just give yourself one more moment of surrender for the practice. Beautiful, and then we'll start in standing, so give yourself a little bit of movement before you vigorously get up, and do your best not to touch the ground as you stand up, just for a little bit of stability engagement. Standing at the front of the mat, the feet can be together, hip-width distance apart. It's all about your preference. Just clasp the hands behind your back, and if this feels a little bit inaccessible for you, you can always grab opposing elbows. Take a deep inhale. As you breathe in, reach up from the crown of the head, reach your clasp or your forearms away from the body. Pull the crown of the head up, and as you exhale, ground the feet into the mat. Breathe in again, reach up from the crown of the head, grounding the feet down. Breathe out, begin to relax the shoulders back and down. Keep the shoulders in this shape, but release the hands and bring the arms alongside the body so that your shoulders have lots of space. Closing down the eyes, touching back into your intention, why you showed up today for this practice. And a little rule of thumb here is every time we inhale, we want to lengthen the body. Every time we exhale, we want to deepen the shape. So ground in, stretch more fully. And then inhale, pull up from the crown of the head. Again, clasp the hands behind the back, but do the clasp that might feel a little bit awkward and funny. And as you exhale, micro bend the knees, send the sit bones back as you begin to bow down into a forward fold. Allow the crown of the head to relax towards the earth and the arms to drop back behind you. Again, you can grab opposing elbows if this feels more comfortable and accessible for you. Ensuring that the face becomes as soft as possible. And here we really want to try to ground all three corners of each foot into the earth while sending the sit bones up. Really feeling this stretch in the backs of the legs. It's definitely going to help us throughout our practice today. So once we find the opening here, you'll notice that this opening begins to serve our future movements. If you begin to feel any sort of tingling sensations in the arms, you can bring the arms down so that they're just dangling underneath the head. However, if you can keep them in a clasp, please do so, because this helps open the shoulders, which will help us for our practice today. Taking 2 more full breaths here. Every inhale you take, find a little micro movement as you lengthen from the crown and from the sit bones. And every exhale you take, allow your bend to deepen straight from the hips. Feel free to straighten the knees if they aren't already straight, or if that feels a little bit too far for you, no worries. You can bend them a little bit deeper and just allow the chest and the belly to relax on the thighs. 1 more full breath, breathe in. And as you exhale, release the hands down in front of your feet. As you inhale, come up halfway to Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, plant both hands into the mat and step back into a plank pose. We're going to stay here for a few moments as we send the crown of the head forward and the heels back, really grounding into the fingertips. And you want to try to push your shoulder blades up at the same time as pushing your hands and your fingers into the mat. You can begin to pretend that it's kind of like somebody is playing a tug of war with your body. So it's like they're pulling your head forward and pulling your heels back. So we don't really want to be like crunching the body like this. We want to stay nice and long, like you're literally trying to grow the body. Staying here for 1 more full breath, really tightening that core, bringing the belly in, so not compensating the spine by sending the hips down. instead finding that full engagement. All right, inhale, shift forward about 2 inches. Exhale, go all the way to the floor through chaturanga, bringing the belly towards the earth. Untuck the toes, breathe into cobra as you reach the gaze up and back. Throat becomes nice and open. And as you breathe out, tuck the toes under, send the hips up first, so the knees are still going to be on the earth, and then really use your core muscles and use the strength of your arms as you push yourself back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Make the little adjustments that you may need on the mat to find your full down dog. So here you really want to be engaging the fingertips on the mat. If your heels don't touch the mat and they're kind of lifted, no worries at all. You can just begin to have the goal of bringing the heels down towards the earth. Turning the inner thighs outwards, bringing the gaze towards the knees or the thighs. Taking one more full breath here, really sending those hips up and back, sending the sit bones back like somebody's pushing against your bum. Beautiful. Then inhale, begin to float forward into a plank. As you exhale, slowly drop just the hips down. Keep the arms straight. Begin to inhale, come into this modified upward facing dog. Heels are being sent back, throat is open, head tilts back. And as you exhale, lift the hips, allow them to guide you into a downward facing dog. All right, like that again. Breathe in, wave forward, leading with the back of the heart. Come into a plank. Remember that tug of war shape. Exhale, begin to drop the hips down, moving nice and slow. Breathing in, opening the heart, opening the throat, looking up and back. Exhale, send the hips back, downward facing dog. All right, we're going to adjust the movement slightly this time so that we flow a bit more vigorously. So as you inhale, float forward and drop the hips and open the heart. Modified up dog. Exhale, send the hips back, downward facing dog. 3 more like that. Breathe in, reach forward through plank, through this modified up dog. Really open the heart, open the belly, open the throat. Exhale, lift the hips, down dog. All right, 2 more. Breathe in, wave forward. Open the heart. Breathe out, hips back, down dog. Again, inhale, wave forward, open the heart. This time we're gonna hold here, really sending those heels back, opening the whole front body. Then untuck the toes, keeping the front body open. Drop the knees, exhale, child's pose. Giving yourself a couple of full rejuvenating breaths here, staying active in this shape. So we're not relaxing the body completely, but instead we're keeping this an active, engaged child's pose. 3 full breaths. Inhale to lengthen the child's pose, reaching forward with the fingertips, back with the sit bones. Exhale to bring the heart closer to the earth or the knees. Beautiful, thank you, Yogi. All right, then inhale, wave with the back of the heart, come into a tabletop shape. As you exhale, tuck the toes under, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Bring the feet together. As you inhale, keep the hips exactly where they are. So make note that we want to lock them in this place. Okay, then as you breathe in, keeping the hips locked, begin to lift the right leg. This is where we kind of tend to open the hip a little bit, which can be useful, but right now we want to keep the hips in one shape. As you exhale, bring the knee in towards the chest and very quietly and gently step it through. Scissoring those inner thighs together here. So again, what can begin to happen is we tend to compensate the pose. So we just want to be in this really kind of like split leg shape instead of actually finding full engagement and benefit in each shape. So it's like you're scissoring those inner thighs together. Your hips are staying in that one straight line. Then as you inhale, lift the arms up nice and high, high lunge. Really push into the back toe mound as you send your back heel forward. And exhale again, find depth. Begin to bow into that front knee a little bit more, bending it into what will eventually become a 90-degree angle. Breathe in, reach your arms up. Breathe out, reach forward. Frame the front foot, lift the hips. Bring the front foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, Vinyasa, reach forward into a plank. Exhale, Chaturanga, halfway down, sending the crown of the head forward, heels back. Breathe in, upward facing dog, pushing the tops of the feet onto the ground, dropping the hips just a little bit, not touching the earth with them. Exhale, lift the hips, push back, downward facing dog. All right, other side. So breathe in, lifting that left foot up nice and high. Exhale, bringing the left knee in towards the chest, stepping it through, allowing it to be framed by the hands. Scissoring the inner thighs together, keeping the core nice and strong so that if you were to hover the hands off the ground, your body wouldn't flop down, but instead it's staying engaged. Breathing in, reaching the arms up, high lunge. Again, checking into your alignment, making sure that your hips are in one straight line, like two headlights on a car. Arms coming up nice and high, crown of the head pulls up, shoulders back and down. Exhale, reach forward. Hands come forward onto the mat, step the back foot forward and fold to finish your exhale. Micro bend the knees, inhale, circle the arms around the body, reach them all the way up, really pressing the feet down. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Taking a few moments here. Connecting back to your intention. Noticing the rate of your heart. Beautiful. Opening the eyes if they're closed. Breathing in, reaching the arms up nice and high again. Tucking the tailbone down, the pelvis comes up. As you exhale, tilt the pelvis forward like a teapot. Begin to fold. Breathe in, coming up halfway. Breathe out, sending the right foot back. Inhale into your high lunge. Exhale into warrior two. So in warrior two, we want to have a heel to arch alignment here. So the left heel is in line with the arch of the back foot. Your fingertips are reaching forward and back from either direction. And we don't want to be reaching forward. This tends to happen a lot when we practice warrior two, but instead we want to create this perfect alignment of the spine. So it's like the crown of the head is directly above the tailbone, or as close to as possible. Ensuring that your front knee is pointed forward and slightly out. Inhale, come to reverse warrior. Exhale, move into side angle, but tucking that left elbow to the inside of the left knee. So we're not bringing the hands all the way down to the mat. Now, if you would like to, you can bring your block here and use it for a little bit of support. What we want to do is we want to strengthen that inner thigh. So bringing the elbow in, reaching forward. All right, then inhale to reverse. Exhale to side angle, tucking the left elbow in, reaching the right arm forward. Inhale to reverse. Exhale to side angle. Then inhale to Skandasana, so bringing the hands to a prayer, turning the back foot outwards a little bit and beginning to bend into that back knee, sending the hips down, keeping the core nice and strong. Then breathe in, reaching up into reverse warrior. Exhale into Skandasana, and that will be our flow. Breathing in, reaching up into reverse warrior. Exhale, Skandasana. One more time, breathing in, reaching, bending into that front knee a little bit more. Exhale, Skandasana. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, circle the arms around, frame the front foot. Step the back foot forward. Inhale, find your length in your plank. Exhale, shift forward, slowly lower halfway into Chaturanga. Breathe in, open the front body, dropping those hips down slightly. Exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Breathe in, look forward, float or step forward in between the hands, look up halfway. Breathe out and fold. Just taking a moment here, crossing the arms, crown of the head looks down. Again, here we just want to release any tension possible in the back of the body.
And if you're sweating, awesome. All right, dropping the hands down to the earth. Let's just bring a little bit of fluidity into the spine. So bend the knees slightly, slowly begin to rise up. Then inhale, reach the arms up, touch the palms together. Exhale, begin to fold. Breathe in, come up halfway. Breathe out, send the left leg back. Inhale, come into high lunge, really pushing into the back toe mounts, squaring off the hips. Exhale, opening the hips, warrior two. Checking in again with your alignment. So ensuring you have this perfect crown of the head to tailbone alignment. Again, we're not leaning back forward, we're not arching back, but instead we're just straight. All right, arms are helping us with this tug of war. Someone's pulling the right fingertips forward and the left fingertips back. Bowing into that front knee a little bit more if possible. Really keeping the core strong, opening the inner thighs out and back. Inhale into reverse. Exhale, begin to make your way to side angle, tucking that right arm to the inside of the right thigh. Reach the left arm forward. One full breath here, breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale again to reverse. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, Skandasana, straighten the front leg, turn the back foot out, bring the hands to a prayer, bow into the back knee. Breathe in, move forward, bend the front leg, reverse. Exhale, turn the back foot out, lift the front toes, Skandasana. Breathe in again, reach up, reverse. Last one, Skandasana. Breathe in, reaching up and back, opening that right side body. Exhale, frame the front foot, lift the hips, step the front foot back. Breathe in, lengthen in your plank. Breathe out, shift forward, slowly lower, all the way to the earth. Touch the toes onto the earth, breathe in. Opening the heart, opening the throat. Taking a few breaths here, fully breathing in through the nose and letting it out through the mouth. Releasing any heat, releasing any tension, and pressing the knees onto the earth, lifting the hips, pushing back into child's pose. Allowing ourselves to relax a little bit as we rest in this shape. Allowing the body to become a bit more soft. Taking 3 more full breaths here. So before we were lengthening ourselves in this child's pose, but now we just kind of want to chill. Give yourself permission to fully begin to relax the body. One more full breath. Beautiful. Then inhale, begin to rise into a tabletop. As you exhale, bring your chest and chin onto the earth. Inhale, flatten the body onto the earth. Come into a cobra, Bhujangasana. As you exhale, bring the forehead down. Reach one arm forward and flip onto your back. Bringing the knees right into the chest, giving them a nice little squeeze. Rocking side to side. And it may feel actually quite good for you to bring the arms to the insides of the legs, grab onto the outsides of the feet, and give yourself a little bit of a happy baby. Now, if you do have a lot of availability here, you may even begin to straighten the legs, and that might feel super delicious. Or you may be watching me do this and be like, what? How is that happening? And if that's the case, you can keep the knees as bent as you need,
as long as you're feeling a stretch in the hips and in the hamstrings, because we have been engaging them a lot. Beautiful. Bringing the knees back into the center of the chest. Exhale as you squeeze them in. And then bringing the feet onto the earth. Pressing the hands down into the earth. You want the fingertips to touch the heels. Just barely. Now from here, ensuring that your feet are parallel with one another, so you can kind of take a peek at them just to make sure. And then breathe in, tuck your tailbone down as you begin to lift your hips up. Coming into our bridge pose. So here we don't just want to lift our hips up, but now what we want to do is keep that tailbone tucked down and that pelvis tucked up. So we're not, giving just like our back a big arch like this, but instead we're trying to literally push the pelvis upwards. Push the tailbone down. It's like you're sending your sit bones towards the end of the mat, towards your heels. Keeping the palms of the hands on the earth. Inhale, come up onto the toes. Exhale, roll your back out one vertebrae at a time. Drop the knees in, separate the feet, mat width distance apart. Give yourself a moment here before we go into our next one. Taking one full breath. Removing any residual heat that we can let go of. All right, bringing the feet back so that they're parallel with one another, right in front of the sit bones. Reaching the fingertips down so they're just kind of playing with the heels. As you inhale, lift the hips up nice and high. As you exhale, this time you can stay here or you can clasp the hands behind your back. So it's the same motion that we did at the very beginning of practice. If you wish to bring it to the next level, begin to move the shoulders underneath the shoulder blades. So it's like your shoulder blades are trying to kiss one another. But not forgetting about that tucked up pelvis and tucked down tailbone. Really pushing the toes and the feet firmly into the mat. Inhale. Lifting up a little bit higher, sending the chest towards the chin, but it's like your chin is playing a tug of war with the body. So it's like, no, chest, don't come here. The crown of the head is moving up. The chest is moving closer towards the chin. One more full breath. Happy face. And then release the hands, come up onto the toes, exhale, roll out the spine onto the earth, your tailbone being the last thing to come down. Move slowly. Beautiful. Feet come out, knees drop in. Release the arms. Give yourself again one moment here, allowing the spine to realign itself. Connecting to that natural breath in between the engaged breath. Noticing its inflow and outflow. All right, last one. So you can do any of the variations that we've already done, or I'll walk you through the next variation. Moving into full wheel or chakrasana. So the fingertips, again, reaching towards the heels. Breathe in, tuck the tailbone down. So notice that my bum is the first thing that's coming off the earth. Reach it all the way up. Exhale, clasp the hands underneath the bum. Begin to reach the shoulders in underneath the shoulder blades. So if this is your maximum, then by all means, please stay here. Otherwise, if you're ready to bring it into your full wheel, you can bring the hands on either sides of the ears, fingertips pointing towards the shoulders. Then begin to breathe in, lift up from the belly, begin to straighten the elbows, coming into full wheel. Crown of the head is pointing down towards the earth and maybe even towards the heels if you have the availability in your spine. And if you wish to bring it a little bit deeper, you can move the hands slightly towards the heels. But remember to reach up with the pelvis and tuck the tailbone down still. So we're still making that same motion that we did in the beginning. Feel this opening of the shoulders, so delicious. One more full breath here. Breathe in. And exhale, come up onto the toes wherever you are and slowly roll yourself out one vertebrae at a time until your tailbone hits the earth. Beautiful. Again, feet come mat width distance apart, knees drop in, palms just face the sky. Completing our heart openers. Noticing if you can feel or witness the impacts of this open heart. And if you can, imagine what it would feel like if you could. Beautiful. Bringing the knees back into the chest, giving them a nice little squeeze, maybe even lifting the head up, giving yourself a nice rounded spine. It may feel really delicious here. All right, and then closing the knees together, arms come out like a T. Take a deep breath in here. And as you exhale, begin to drop the knees towards the left side. And then bring your gaze over the right shoulder. Really relaxing the body here. If you find that your legs are kind of lifted still because the spine isn't twisting so much that the knees are coming down to the earth, then you can just bring the left hand over top of the top thigh, maybe even towards the bum, just to help engage the twist a little bit more. And giving yourself permission to fully settle here. Allowing the body to completely relax. Doing your best to remove any engagement. And then inhale, begin to bring the knees back up, bring the gaze back up. Again, grab onto the knees, and this time just make a few circles in either or both directions. Just to allow the spine to realign. Keeping the knees the arms stretched out like a T. Inhale to prepare the shape, and as you exhale, drop the knees down towards the right side. Dropping the head towards the left. Again, if you need, you can bring the right arm over top of the left thigh or left side of the bum to help close the knees together. Relaxing the rib cage, relaxing the home around the lungs as you allow the breath to effortlessly flow in and out of the body. And then inhale, slowly begin to bring your back onto the mat again. Knees come into the chest as you exhale, hug the knees, and begin to move them in some circles again. Beautiful, thanks, Yogi. And give yourself full permission to relax here, taking the shavasana of your choice, palms facing the sky. Legs out long. And dropping the toes outwards. And do your best here to just fully surrender to the practice. Fully become relaxed inside the body. Even allowing the outside of your body, your auric field, to also become relaxed. Bringing your awareness to your intention. Noticing how it exists inside of you. Bringing complete softness to your connection to your intention. Bringing complete softness to your connection to the breath. Allowing your body to be breathed instead of you doing the breathing. And you're welcome to stay in this shape for as long as you'd like. And until next time, namaste.